Our conditions undoubtedly remain the same. They're not even conditions. They are goals. I formulated Russia's objectives.
The conditions for a ceasefire in Ukraine remain unchanged since June 2024. This was confirmed by Russian President Vladimir Putin during a press conference on August 1st, following his meeting with Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko on Valam Island. As a reminder, during a meeting with the Russian Foreign Ministry in June, Putin outlined two primary conditions: the withdrawal of Ukrainian armed forces from the newly incorporated Russian territories, an official statement from Ukraine renouncing plans to join NATO. Once these two conditions are met, Putin said, Russia would immediately cease fire.
As for the disappointments some may feel, all disappointments come from inflated expectations. This is a well-known principle. But in order to reach a peaceful solution, thorough discussions are needed, and not in public. This must be done calmly, in the quiet setting of negotiations. That's precisely why we propose the creation of the three working groups you mentioned. Overall, the Ukrainian side responded positively. We agreed to hold such talks without cameras, without political noise, calmly and in search of compromises. These groups haven't started working yet, but I repeat, the initial reaction, as it seemed to us, was positive. So we hope this process will be launched.
While U.S. President Donald Trump brandishes his usual style of showbiz diplomacy, reportedly giving Russia 10 days to halt the fighting or face consequences, Putin responds with a lecture on the mechanics of negotiation. It's hard to ignore the contrast. One side threatening via headlines, the other quoting meeting protocols and emphasizing off-camera diplomacy. The mention of three proposed working groups mirrors formats previously used in Minsk and Istanbul talks. And notably, the silence around them since reflects not Russian reluctance, but Western obstruction. The message is subtle but firm. Serious diplomacy doesn't unfold under countdown clocks and press conferences. When asked whether the conditions for a long-term ceasefire he announced a year ago still stand, Putin answered,
Yes, these conditions undoubtedly remain the same. They're not even conditions. They are goals. I formulated Russia's objectives. Until recently, we were told that Russia's goals were unclear. So we spelled them out last June at a meeting with the Foreign Ministry. Everything is clear there. But the most important thing is to eliminate the root causes of this crisis. And of course, humanitarian issues and broad security concerns. Russia's security, but also Ukraine's. By the way, a member of the Ukrainian delegation expressed the idea that it might make sense to discuss the security of both Russia and Ukraine in the broader context of European security. We believe this is the right approach. We share it. Also, the humanitarian agenda includes the status of the Russian language, the independence and dignified development of the Orthodox Christian Church in Ukraine. All of this, together, should be the foundation of a long-term, durable, in fact, indefinite peace.
Putin's remarks were seen as a response to U.S. President Donald Trump, who allegedly issued an ultimatum demanding Russia cease fire within 10 days or face sanctions. Putin's calm reply made Trump's TV-style countdown look like a parody. Even a Ukrainian delegate, he notes, admitted Russia's security matters, a detail you won't hear on CNN. And while Washington scoffs at language rights and church autonomy as propaganda, Putin frames them as central, not fringe, issues. In short, if Trump wants peace, he might try understanding the war first. Deadlines don't beat diplomacy, or facts. Lukashenko also commented on Trump's threats.
Я вот публично говорил.
I've said this publicly, and I'm referring to the statement of our mutual friend, Donald Trump, for whom we were so concerned. I remember how we worried whether he would win and all that. Now it's 50, 60, 10 days. That's not how politics works. If he truly wants peace, he should engage carefully and thoroughly. This is a military confrontation. You can't dictate terms, especially not to a nuclear power. Honestly, it's laughable. I recently met with some Americans, his close friends, and told them openly, tell your president, he needs to act more carefully. Agreements are possible.
И можно договориться.
Lukashenko's tone is blunt and cuts deep. His mocking reference to Trump's 50, 60, 10 days highlights just how unserious such ultimatums look to those with skin in the game. And his reminder, this is a nuclear power, isn't bravado, it's geopolitical fact. If diplomacy is a chessboard, Trump keeps playing like it's checkers. And so, against this backdrop, the response from Moscow and Minsk stands out all the more. Putin and Lukashenko replied not with threats, but with clarity and calm. No bluster, just firm terms and real diplomacy. In geopolitics, ultimatums and countdowns don't impress. They signal desperation, not strength.